Okay, we're going live. Okay, guys. It's Old Man G back again with another episode of Red Devil Studio Live. And we're joined again, by Firmicho, who's our designated Liverpool fan. Team Takage 1, who's our Arsenal fan. And OJ, who's our Chelsea fan. On this episode, just thanks again for everyone who watched the video and liked it. Really appreciate it. Didn't actually expect it to get that many views, but you want to listen to us, you want to hear our opinion. That's great, and hopefully we'll be able to get more and more videos out to you guys soon on a frequent basis. So this episode, we're basically going to look into what we think our starting 11 for the upcoming Premier League season is going to be. It's not that far, about just under 3 weeks away, the Premier League is starting. We're basically just going to go around. It's going to be casual. We're just going to basically say, and in each different position, who we think should start in that position, give a brief reason why, and then towards the end we'll probably give we'll talk about who we think should be captain and why, and then we'll end up with just a bit of transfer news, who should be out, etc. And as I said all the week, we're here to take your questions, guys. Oh, shout out to Jamie, who's joined us in the chat. Man like Jamie, man. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. If you have any questions to ask the cast here, please just let us know, and we'll be willing to.
Jamie,
we'll bring it out, man. Okay. Team Kaga says, Jamie, man, just put out the questions, man. Put them out. Right. So let's begin. Let's begin with let's go in Premier League order of last season. So let's begin with Firmicho. So let's start. Obviously, we start in goal with your goalkeeper. I think it should be fairly straightforward, but who do you think should start, mate?
Karius. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Alisson, just changed the team. I think just having Van Dijk and Alisson at the back there was just completely changed the whole dynamic of how Liverpool worked. I reckon. Like Alisson has just got such a impressive presence in goal, and it's one of them things where, like, if you've made it past Van Dijk by some miracle, you've then got Alisson to face. It's a real blessing.
And he has his Jesus top underneath.
Amen.
So you gotta get past that too.
Yeah. Preach. Yeah. So like, there's nothing. I mean, we don't really have anybody. I mean, Mignolet, but you just can't. You'd never see Mignolet go ahead of Alisson anyway. So like, you only have. And I think just Alisson, his form that he's shown last year, just makes him one of the best keepers in the world. I think. I mean, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. He's just really, really impressive. Outstanding presence.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's reasonable enough. Okay.
Oh, we're just doing goalkeepers, are we?
Yes, we're just going round in the different positions. Yeah, first. So OJ, man of Chelsea, is going in Premier League order. Who should be?
Your manager.
Your manager actually started. Manager, man.
I mean, Kepa is our manager, obviously. Lampard is an imposter.
Yeah.
So definitely he's starting.
Okay.
It's a no-brainer. Player manager.
Kepa.
Come on,
Kepa starts in goal for Chelsea.
Just has to go easy.
Okay.
Easy.
And Team Takage 1, man. Who starts in goal for Arsenal?
Obviously, Leno. He's our rock, our German rock. He was fantastic last season. He saved with a defense like that. Sometimes it makes your goalkeeper look better by the amount of shots that he faces. But no, he pulled off some really, really big saves last season. I know we sold Ospina, so our backup. I can't remember the guy. I think it's Martinez or something. And he wants first team football, but Leno is just much better, so that's a no-brainer.
Okay.
He saved Arsenal a few points.
He did.
Arsenal could have had a lot worse season.
Absolutely.
Leno.
Is there a question?
Fair enough, yeah. Like, before I go into my keeper, I think Jamie already knows David De Gea is going to be, I think he should start. And more importantly, he looks like he's to be signing a new contract, a new 6-year deal contract, fingers crossed. 110 million. So, but I mean, he deserves it. There's no good keeper that.
He was 3 years,
compared to that flop Alexis Sanchez, so David De Gea definitely deserves it. Jamie asks, I want to know your guys' top 4. What's your predicted top 4, guys?
Right off the bat.
That's a.
Yeah.
Oh, and Lampard is an imposter.
Top 4. Wow.
Top 4. Team Kage 1. Okay, with you, what?
Well, I mean, obviously, I know what the top 2 are going to be. City and Liverpool. They're just still a cut above everybody else. It's just who's going to finish first. I don't know if I still think City have more depth, and they signed that Rodri guy who looks very sharp, and they're only going to probably continue strengthening. I think domestically, it's City they're going to be there for a while, and I don't want to say they're going to win again, but I think they will, and then Liverpool will be second.
Okay.
I think Spurs will probably just do what Spurs do, even though actually, you know what it is? I can't even say that. I think Spurs they're gonna be competitive. I think they're going to be third, but I don't think they're going to be too far behind second. They've signed some fantastic players. Ndombele. What's that?
I said Pochettino bottling company.
Bought what?
Bottling
Yeah. No, of course, but
Well, see, that's my only thing with potential with Liverpool could potentially take on season is that I don't see who are the centre backs that are going to start for Man City. I don't see them. I haven't seen them. Maybe they will do it, but I haven't seen how they strengthened in that area. Because even though Kompany was injury prone, he still started when he was fit. He still got them through the line, and
he looks so much better.
And he's so much better without him. Like, if you're telling me that Otamendi and John Stones are going to be the centre-back pairing for City next season, Laporte is good.
In the pre-season,
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
in the pre-season, I saw Laporte and Stones, which isn't strong enough.
No,
not by any means.
No.
So maybe they'll sign somebody.
Laporte is fair enough.
Laporte is fantastic. But Laporte is a very solid defender.
Stones.
I still don't understand why he's not being called up to France. It's amazing.
Who have they got?
Because they've got Titi and Varane.
Yeah, so they call Sacco. They called Zuma.
Really?
They called Zuma.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Over Laporte.
Interesting.
Indeed, Jamie John Stones is shaky. He is shaky. I don't know about that.
And fourth,
his overconfidence is death of it.
Chelsea. So Team Lukaku, when you're saying City, Liverpool, Spurs, and Chelsea, so not even Arsenal.
Pretty much because the first 3 have strengthened or already have amazing squads. And who does say was fourth? Chelsea. Chelsea just managed to finish fourth somehow.
But that was because of Sarri. Now they've got a new manager now in Frank Lampard, who
he's putting a lot of faith in the youngsters, isn't he?
A lot of faith in youngsters, is unproven, doesn't have Premier League experience, and for what everyone says about, for example, Ollie at least has more experience in the Premier League. I'll bet it was half of a season than Lampard does. So it's a risk, and their first game of the season, Chelsea, Old Trafford away, they've got a couple of hard games. If it goes to pot in the first few games, people might start asking questions.
Yeah, Chelsea, whatever they do, they sack 5 managers a season. They still manage to finish in the top 4. So that's what I'm going with.
But then also the other big thing with that is they don't have Eden Hazard anymore. I think that makes a big difference.
He got them a lot of points last season. Like single-handedly, he was one of the standout players. I mean, you had Willian. I'm like. Willian, I mean, there's a lot of laughs there, but he can perform. Yeah, he can perform.
Willian is what?
Willian is fantastic.
Yeah.
What?
Brilliant player.
How dare you? Do you want him in Arsenal?
Chelsea, I'd take a lot of things at Arsenal. I'd take Pedro. Actually, Pedro's good. So I can't even say anything about that.
Yeah.
Right.
But
he's one of them players that I feel that he can. He's not just a dead weight. He can perform. He can pull it out of the bag.
Man, this is a 30-year-old you're talking about, fam.
Yeah.
A 30-year-old that can perform. 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Top team. Come on.
It is true. No, I'm not saying that he's like the go-to player there, but yeah, he does. Yeah. I'm just saying that he's a player. I mean, who would you replace him with?
Who play ahead of him in Brazil? Who's better than him in Brazil? I mean, this even Copa America. Copa America. He was on his standby list. He didn't go. He only went because Neymar was injured.
No, so he didn't really play.
I don't think he played much.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, James' opinion is that my top 4 are first City, second Liverpool, third Spurs, and fourth United.
Yeah, me too. That's mine also.
Chelsea won't make top 4 because
United.
they lost. Chelsea won't make top 4, sorry, because they lost Hazard, have the transfer ban, and this is an experimental year for Lampard, and Arsenal are banter.
Ouch!
Cut the string.
Ouch!
Wow.
It's cold.
I mean,
it's cold, guys. Leave in your comments.
What,
it's cold.
what I will say about Arsenal is there's a lot of rumours out there that they're linked with a whole bunch of names, more names than any other team in the
Any
Premiership.
transfer.
Arsenal is basically playing Football Manager. Transfers. You know them installments.
Yeah. It's like, how can you? There was a 25 million bid for Kieran Tierney,
and you say
in installments, and I was like, how can you not afford
that was a bit
25 million?
And one of the installments was, and if Arsenal wins the Champions League, you'll pay a certain amount. And fam, come on.
To be honest, the big thing is that United paid 50 million for Wan-Bissaka. The fact that they think that submitting a bid of 50 million for Zaha, when Zaha is Palace's best player, is gonna somehow make them sell him, is insane. It's insane. You know, it's like we got 50 million for Bissaka, who is a beast. Looking in pre-season, he looks like a beast.
Exactly.
Wan-Bissaka is he's got the potential to be one of the best right backs in the. Well, we'll get to that. Let's get back to our starting 11. So we've done our cover. So we'll start with centre backs. Let's do both of them together. So who'd be your centre back pairing? Unless you want to play back 3. What do you think, Firmicho? Liverpool centre back pairing.
Obviously, considering that Van Dijk is. I mean, it's almost pointless me mentioning that Van Dijk is like Van Dijk. I'd imagine be like the first player, like before anybody else is on the team sheet. Van Dijk. I think if Klopp could, he'd clone 11 Van Dijks and just have because he can do everything. He can score as well, So
his free kick at Celtic.
Yeah, just fantastic free kick. So like he's just great player. So like obviously Van Dijk. I might say something a little bit controversial actually, and I just thought to myself before Gomez got injured, I thought Gomez and Van Dijk were absolutely outstanding.
I absolutely agree with that.
So I might be inclined to say that if Gomez is back up to match fitness and match standard and Premiership standard, then I'd probably go with Gomez just about ahead of Matip. Obviously, everybody here knows I'm not a massive Lovren fan. It's just
last week's episode.
Last week's episode. It's just like Lovren's one of those people that if I see him come on, I'm just like, oh damn. But apart from that, either one. Van Dijk, Matip, or Van Dijk, Gomez. I'm happy with either that choice. I mean, rather Van Dijk, Gomez. If Gomez is back to what he was before his injury, then definitely Van Dijk, Gomez. I think. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, OJ man, your back centre back pairing.
Ideally, I would say Zuma Rudiger.
Okay.
Yeah, David Luiz is not a defender.
He's great. Great CDM, if you know.
David Luiz is a pretender.
Okay.
David Luiz still has concentration issues at the age of 31. That's terrible, man. As a defender with a lot of experience, you shouldn't be caught out that easy. I mean, flashing back to Luka Jovic's goal against Chelsea in the Europa League semi-finals last season. Nah, the way he was beaten was too easy. It was too easy for an experienced defender. No. Sure. Although I've always been an advocate for Luis being a midfielder. Right from his first right from when he came in Chelsea, that he considered a penalty in his first game, I think, against Fulham. That was his first spell.
Yeah.
In Chelsea, he was saved because the goalkeeper saved the penalty ball. I mean, come on, no.
Yeah.
So I'll say Rudiger, Zuma, but since Rudiger is injured, and he's not coming back till probably October.
Oh, Rudiger's not coming back till October, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He's got a knee injury.
I'd say. Are you sure Chelsea are going to succeed this?
I'd say Zuma Christensen.
See, I was about to say then, like, I know that I'm a little bit spoilt with Van Dijk and Gomez and Matip and the centre backs that we have, but with the lineup that you just said, like with Zuma and things like that, Zuma is a quality player, but I'd almost not be happy with that. I'm just realising now from you talking, would Chelsea be best investing in another centre back?
Well, they can't buy one, can they?
You can't buy anything.
But then
I don't know about investing because what?
Loan.
Man, I don't know. How many quality centre backs are available to start with?
You shouldn't have sold, in my opinion, you shouldn't have actually sold Nathan Ake. I actually thought Nathan Ake was, yes, you could argue maybe he's not
Yeah,
fast
he did,
Play for Bournemouth, I play for Chelsea.
No, but for me the big is what I've noticed about Ake is that he's very good in the air.
Yeah.
Like especially against some of the top teams, the amount of times that he's won. Like I remember when he even played Liverpool, where he was beating Van Dijk in the air. Like that's from a defensive point of view. Like there's a lot to be worked on, and he's at the end he's still young. He's still very young.
Yeah.
You're beating Van Dijk in the air.
And he's Dutch too,
balls.
so he's probably run the Dutch team a lot.
Well, Chelsea has got a buyback clause on him.
Fair enough. Okay,
So
yeah.
I think when push comes to shove, we can always activate that.
I'd love to have him at us.
But
if he was available.
Well,
I think it's about 50 million on his head currently.
I mean, if we could afford that.
But to be frank, yeah, Zuma is a good option for me.
He's
I mean,
alright, yeah.
before he injured, he was solid.
Yeah,
And he's good in the air. He's good in the air. He's good 1-on-1. He's got pace. He's really strong. I mean, come on.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Team Takage 1, Arsenal, centre back pairings, or
Mustafi
as Jamie has sort of said, I feel like most top 6 clubs have a banter centre back: Lovren, Phil Jones, Mustafi, David Luiz, and John Stones. And also, I love Nathan Ake; he's quality. What do you think? Who do you think your centre back pairing is going to be for the coming season? You want it to be ideally?
I do like Socrates. Like he can be a bit rushed, but I actually think he, if you watch De Ligt and you watch Van Dijk, I remember Maldini said about if you have to make a tackle as a defender, you've already made an error.
Yeah.
So he's talking about positioning, marking. You see Van Dijk, sometimes he doesn't need to make a tackle by his position, what he does. De Ligt's more aggressive. He'll like go for the tackle. He's strong. He'll blah blah blah. So Socrates is a bit like that. He's got a little bit of pace. He's getting on a bit. Obviously, had a long spell at Dortmund, but he's aggressive and sometimes, he picks up a few too many yellow cards. But he's good. I like how he puts his heart on his sleeve for the club. And hopefully Rob Holding. Holding was really, really good. I think, did he do his ACL?
I can't remember, but it was certainly
early
on in the season.
It was
a
very
significant injury. Yeah, it was.
And I'd honestly be very happy with that. Rob Holding's a bit more like, I'm not saying he's like Van Dijk, no one's like Van Dijk, but he's a bit slower, doesn't kind of dive in for tackles. I didn't really see him making many mistakes when he was at Arsenal before he got injured. And in fact, while he was there, there was a period we had an unbeaten run of I think it was like 20 odd games. It was him, Socrates, I don't remember Mustafi Mustafi maybe came in every now and then, but and when he got injured, we seemed to lose a lot of games. So yeah, I'd be very happy to see him back there.
Okay, so Socrates and Rob Holding,
really good, and he's young too.
Okay, so you don't want Mustafi and your presumably leader Koscielny, who I thought was a centre back for Arsenal, but seems like he's not a centre back for Arsenal. Or do you want to comment on that? Team Takage 1.
Nah, well, obviously,
fair left, not said.
Yeah, he didn't travel with us to the States.
He's trying to force Arsenal to sell him for free.
Yeah,
Farm.
I mean,
That's
Arsenal. It's
cool.
kind of like it's almost like a holiday home. You like you get there, you set up your pension, you get all your money, and then you're just like, okay, well, I'm going now, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I mean, how many players have gone for frees? Contract issues. It's just we are a bit of a banter club, I can admit that. But hopefully the youngsters can bring us back to give us a bit more of a good name, because we are a bit banter right now.
Okay, right. My centre back pairing for Manchester United. So a lot of that will be dependent on obviously the rumours whether we'll get Harry Maguire or not. If we do, and check out the latest breaking video that I posted today, guys. If we do, then Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof for my starting centre backs, no question. That's who I think should start. Ojo says it's horrible. I think he hasn't seen Phil Jones play enough, or Chris Smalling play enough.
I think Bailly should be your first choice.
Bailly should be. I think the thing. Bailly and Lindelof make a good sense back home. The issue with Bailly that Fortune had is that unfortunately he's injury prone, so we haven't had a full season with Bailly yet. And the second thing is that he's rash, but also we need a centre back that is at least good in the air. Smalling is actually probably our best centre back in terms of aerial sorts of threats, in terms of getting above people, and he's still not that great. Harry Maguire is like a meme for his forehead, basically. Like it's like, and there's a reason for that, because the ball attacks to his head, and he goes. So if you're doing that, especially against top quality events, it's good to have two centre backs that are slightly different, I think, and I think that gives you that variety. So if United do sign Harry Maguire and Lindelof, if not, then Bailly and Lindelof in terms of consistency, because we can't have Phil Jones near the defence ever again. Right, moving on, guys. Another comment from James. So when we get Maguire, where does United's defence rank in the league?
I don't know. I think he's good.
Okay.
Maguire. Yeah. I think he's good. I think. I don't know. Whether. I don't know. Where would they rank? I
think you've got to take it all together, because if we didn't have, for example, Wan-Bissaka, and we had Ashley Young still playing the right back, and we're going to talk about fullbacks next. Frankly, it doesn't matter if we get Harry Maguire. That defense is still leaking goals because Ashley Young is banter man. Or if Phil Jones is next. If you have a defense of Phil Jones, Ashley Young, and Harry Maguire, that defense is still leaking goals, irrespective. If that makes any sense. So if we go on to fullbacks now, okay, so you're left at fullback. Who do you think should start for Liverpool, Firmicho?
Once again, we just seem to be really blessed in them positions right now. I mean, Robertson's just an absolute beast. He just does everything. I mean, he's like he's almost like a younger Milner. He really is. He's just a real engine.
Even Milner can play in that position. Robertson's out. Milner comes in.
Milner comes in, exactly. Yeah, so that's maybe one of the positions where we are sort of doubled up on, because there is a couple of other positions up front where maybe Liverpool do need a little bit more depth. I'm sure we'll come to that later, but the right now with Robertson at left back. You have Millie that can just take his place if there is an injury. I mean, he did pick up an injury in the Champions League, but when he's strong and fit, and you just wouldn't have anybody else playing there. It's just fantastic. It's just a great energy. He's a great energy at the back. He loves going forward. He has a shot every once in a while. It's just and it's just you just couldn't I mean, you just wouldn't expect a normal left back to be doing that. I think in the modern day left back, you are expected to get up front, get a cross in, get a shot off, and things like that. But he just does it so well that it's almost like, wow, I think all left back has to be like Robertson. So
he's arguably the best, I think, and I hate to say it's a United fan. He is probably the best left back in Europe. I can't really think of a If we talk
Marcelo,
about
fam?
Marcelo,
in terms of last season,
No.
Marcelo.
Marcelo's been non-existent for.
Yeah.
And at least
I love
two
Robertson
seasons.
Marcelo,
So.
bro.
yeah,
Like he has been better, definitely.
Okay,
but
so
not
you're
forgetting.
talking about going forward and coming back because obviously Robertson's a much better defender, and going forward, Robertson, how many assists this season with Arnold?
Man,
They would.
assists are dependent on whoever finishes, not person across.
But he is right about the defensive. Marcelo is not known for being a
There's
defensively
two parts to
minded
being a left back. You know what I mean?
Keep in mind as well, Robertson's still a really
Right.
young lad. You know, like he's got like
And he's
sort of
consistent too.
yeah.
I don't see him making many mistakes.
Yeah.
And if anyway,
Yeah, and then right back obviously is
Trent.
Trent. Yeah, I think it's just important for Trent just to keep playing now. I mean, I think there comes a certain stage where players nowadays they do get the limelight too early, and I think it makes them peak a little bit too early.
Yeah, okay, agree.
So like with Trent, I think he's sort of past that stage now. I think he's sort of cemented that right back position at Liverpool, and they can just keep playing him now. Just keep like saying you know it's good what you're doing.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. There's another easy one. It's an easy podcast for me.
Yeah,
Like,
it seems that I think it's Team Skaki 1 is probably going to have a couple of issues as we get further on. Well, actually, no, maybe it might get easier, I think. OJ, you fullbacks, or Chelsea going to play for free. What are they going to do? Who's going to play?
Oh my days. Okay, so Aspilicueta has lost it. It's sad. I think Lampard is even considering playing him as a CB, from what I've seen in preseason. But
He did a couple of seasons back.
yeah. He played in back three.
yeah.
Yeah, so Aspi in back two is not.
With man like Moses.
Although
he was good.
what's it called? Sarri played him as a CB last in the Europa League final when someone injured. I think was it when Rudiger injured?
Yeah.
I think semi-final or something.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. He can play.
He can play, but as a fullback though, Aspi has lost. Aspi has lost it, and Zappacosta is not great. Zappacosta is not great. He just has a great name. That's it. I'm really looking forward to Reece James coming back from injury.
Okay.
I think he's the future. He's the future for Chelsea and the right back. So yeah, but Aspilicueta has to start definitely. I mean, come on. We can if no matter how bad he is, he's way better than Zappacosta. On the left, however,
Alonso.
oh my days, I'd actually prefer playing David Luiz there. that's the truth. I prefer playing David Luiz there over Alonso or Emerson, because Emerson is a poor defender. He's okay, but not that great.
Okay.
Alonso is slow, and he's a bad defender also. So I mean, David Luiz loses concentration, but at the same time, he's a better defender than two of them. So I prefer Luiz on the left.
The key question, I think, is that will Chelsea concede 6 goals again at the Etihad Stadium?
I don't think so. Because
You haven't strengthened that back line at all.
I don't think it's about
And
strengthening
you
the
lost
back
your
line
best
per se. I don't think it's about strengthening the back line per se, because last season Sarri was being an idealist.
Okay.
Irrespective of the team he was playing against, he tried to play progressive football.
Okay.
But I feel like Lampard is more of a manager that adapts tactically per game.
Okay.
So I don't think we'll play expansive football against Man City.
Okay.
It will definitely be counter-attacking football.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think we'll concede 6 again. No.
Okay, fingers crossed. Watch this space. You heard that? Chelsea will not concede 6 goals. Watch this space when we do that post-match reaction. Team Skaki 1, fullbacks, Arsenal.
It depends, because sometimes we do play 5 at the back with wing backs.
It almost works out for you.
Wing backs, I think we seem to play better, but that's if Kolasinac decides to come back.
What do you mean? What's going on with Kolasinac?
No, come back and defend.
Oh right. That's a big
obviously
problem.
right back Hector Bellerin. He was fantastic before he got injured. Really bad injury. Really bad injury. I think he was I think that was right at the start of the season, a couple of games in, out the whole season. And I don't think he's even still ready. I think he's
not training, nothing.
No, he's training, but I don't think he's match fit.
Yeah. Right.
I think he's got a couple more months, which is crazy. But Maitland-Niles was good and has been good for a makeshift right back. I'd like to see Maitland-Niles playing in the midfield, to be honest. Well,
no, James just said Chelsea will only concede 5 versus City this season.
Jamie needs to get his bloody hand off it, that's what it needs. Alright, Jamie. But obviously, so Maitland-Niles will fill in there. I'd like to see him play in midfield, but we don't have that luxury of. We just don't have that luxury because we're Arsenal at the minute. So left back, either Monreal or Kolasinac. Probably Kolasinac. Okay. I don't think we're going to sign Kieran Tierney.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
That's probably why Arsenal brought out their away kit advertisements early.
Get the sales. Won't be surprised. It's funny because normally you get shirt sales by like announcing a new signing.
Yeah.
And then that player's on the shirt, but we don't sign anybody.
Yeah.
It's just Ian Wright. Ian Wright promoting the kit. It's like, come on. Anybody?
Well, was it Josh Kroenke or something? Kroenke said something to me about be excited. We've got key signings coming in, so
yeah. I mean,
they say it's like what do you call it? Divisive, like politician talk, saying stuff like that. Like his dad doesn't speak. His dad owns how many American companies? LA Rams, Denver Nuggets, all those places. These Americans, they don't know anything about football. Sean was telling me, Firmicho was telling me about the owners of Liverpool and how their kind of sort of transfer system where it was like baseball type of thing.
Yeah.
And then when Klopp came, he was like, no.
Yeah, he was
scrap that.
Did you see Brendan Rodgers' reign?
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah, scrap that. And so, I don't know, it's just a bit of a joke, our negotiations at Arsenal. So I don't listen to. Obviously, he's getting his son to do the talking for him, which just shows he's like a bit of a Mike Ashley type of guy. Just wants to hide, make money, do his own thing. Doesn't care about football, which is sad. But what can you do?
There we go. Fine. Kroenke out.
Kroenke out.
Fine. My fullbacks. Well, it's actually straightforward now because Ashley Young should not be starting for Manchester United ever again. Even League Cup games, Europa League games, I would try youth, to be honest. Like he should
don't
not
even
be
let him train. Like.
He is the captain, but he shouldn't be near the team. And especially after. It's weird. I've watched some of the pre-season games. As a lot of you guys know, I posted some reactions. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka just looks ridiculous. I know it's pre-season, but they call him like the Spider-Man for a reason. He literally, nothing can get past this guy.
It's interesting because he was a winger.
Yeah, he was a winger, exactly. And he still needs to work on going forward. But I think the fitness, the regime that we're having at Manchester United, they've been able to basically help him with his touch, help him with his skill, and as the games go by, I think he'll improve that forward aspect of crossing the ball. But defensively, he's going to be very, very. The thing with United last season was that it was so painfully obvious that teams targeted our right hand side. Maybe the really big teams went left sometimes, because depending on how good a game Shaw was having. But most often not, especially PSG, remembering at Old Trafford, they were like, right, who's there? Ashley Young. Let's go down that side all the time. This time, Wan-Bissaka with his tackle race, interceptions. You could see him literally, and the pace. This is the thing. I'm like, he against quick. Inter, man. There was one of the fastest guys in Serie A, number 29, played for Inter, and Wan-Bissaka starts running
Wan-Bissaka lost the ball to him.
Sorry.
I think Wan-Bissaka lost
the ball to him. He takes it, but then he's 10 yards. He's 10 yards behind him, and then catches up to him and wins the ball. It's just you started running when he was 10 yards away, and you still managed to catch up.
He is quick.
He's an animal. He is. Like a serious animal.
Yeah. Good signing.
I think because obviously he's England, but I think him and if we're talking about England, I think Wan-Bissaka and Alexander-Arnold are going to be interesting when it comes to competing for that spot.
Yeah, with Trent, it's just how brilliant he is at up front. Like he's just like he thinks like a striker. He's just like, I think the striker will be here, and he just crosses it to that position.
I think Wan-Bissaka's probably a better. It's only one season, but I think that he's probably a better defender than Trent. But Trent is much better going forward, I think.
Yeah,
it's kind of like attack is your best form of defense sometimes. So like Trent's probably got 2 assists by the time Wan-Bissaka's made 5 tackles or something, that type of thing. Yeah, it's like it's a weird, but you know what I mean.
No, I agree.
And both playing.
Yeah. Somehow you got to make it work.
Yeah.
Walker's out of there.
Yeah.
Walker has to. I think he's past it.
And isn't Kieran Trippier sort of?
He's got an Atletico.
He's got an Atletico Madrid. That's an aside. I mean, Kieran Trippier going to Atletico Madrid. Who saw that coming? You know. No. So it's just.
Well, like
I guess Fran's getting old.
Yeah, it's just, but it's for 20 million. I mean, that's a steal as well.
It's 20 million.
I mean, English players are expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised at that. I was more surprised at the price tag than the actual move itself. Trippier.
No, Trippier to
25
Atletico.
million,
20 million.
20 million, actually,
to Atletico. That's a steal for his like.
It's like euros.
No, it's pounds.
Yeah.
For his experience and you know, and he's gonna compete.
For his what? What the experience?
Champions League final.
Yeah, that's it.
One year.
I mean, it's good for you.
England semi World Cup semi final.
That's good as that's for 20 million. Because it's
how many years was left on his contract? No one's asking that.
Yeah, I mean,
If
he was a year left, of course it was going to. That was, I mean, Chelsea sold Courtois for how much?
Yeah.
25 million. I think 35 million.
I think it was more than that, wasn't it?
Chelsea sold Courtois for 35 million.
Oh, okay, fine.
Because it was one. I think it was 1 year left on his contract.
Fine. Okay.
Hazard is a different case because I mean Chelsea was not going to budge.
Yeah.
And they lost.
How so?
They lost in pre-season.
What?
To
Madrid or Chelsea?
3-1 or something.
Yeah, Bayern.
Oh, you mean Madrid?
Oh,
Yeah, to Bayern.
Yes.
Liverpool.
They Bayern up sharp.
Yeah.
I think towards the end of this pod we'll have a brief discussion about just other just transfer news. We'll just try and get through the formation because there are a few things we're making like Bale and various other things. So fine. So and just as a note, Luke Shaw will be my left back. There's really nothing else to that. Fine. We've got quite a way in. So let's quickly go on to our midfield. Whether you guys are going to play midfield 3, midfield 4. Let's just assume the formation is 4-3-3 just to make things easier, and that's how generally most of our teams play or can play. So Firmicho, who would be your midfield 3 for Liverpool?
It's tough because obviously Hendo's our captain. So it's hard to leave him out, but I mean, one player that would definitely be on the team sheet would be Fabinho. You just couldn't leave him out. Yeah,
it's like you were saying earlier. Obviously, if you manage to somehow get past Van Dijk and whoever's next to him, there's Alisson. But you still got to get past Fabinho. That guy. What was he? 30? No, he's more than that. How much? I can't remember how much you sold him. You bought him for.
It wasn't expensive. It wasn't a lot.
That's a steal, man.
Considering of what.
I think we got Xhaka for the same price.
Yeah.
Staffy as well.
Yeah, that's it. So Fabinho. Fabinho. You can't. I can't really leave Hendo out. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough. I mean, it's a good dilemma to have. There's a lot worse problems. So, I mean, Keita's on his way back as well.
My goodness.
Yeah,
it's just.
Did you even talk about Ox as well?
the
Ox is back.
You see,
The Ox is back.
People talk about City's depth, but Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Liverpool
Just because there's not big price tags and all that doesn't mean that it's not depth.
I think Liverpool is winning the league this season. I think so. That's what I think. I think Liverpool is definitely winning the league this season.
Yeah.
I think City will buckle on because of fatigue.
I just
they
think
don't
that
sign a defender.
I just think that defensively, City haven't improved, and also they're still heavily reliant on Fernandinho. Like if Fernandinho was not in that City squad, like I remember specifically last season again. Towards December, Fernandinho was tired, was injured, was out, and they started to lose games.
I know what you mean. Have you seen the Rodri guy?
Well, Rodri is way better.
What do you think?
Possibly, yeah. No,
Possibly. He's way better.
It's. I think he is.
He was purchased to feel that.
Yeah.
Like phase when Fernandinho.
But it's like with anything. It's like it's coming to the Premier League, So he has the potential to be better than Fernandinho and for it to work, but you never know sometimes. Like he could just. Like Jorginho was purchased to be good, and he was very good where he was, and he came to the Premier League and was a bit of a flop, to be honest.
I mean, for Rodri played under a Atletico Madrid's under a Simeone system. Come on.
Okay.
I mean, if as a midfielder, if you play under Simeone, I think you can fit in anywhere, in any team. Under any circumstance in any league, especially the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I've seen him in preseason. He's so smooth. Yeah. I think I read somewhere that since Fernandinho can kind of fall back into CB.
That's true. Yeah.
So
not great at it,
but he can do it. He can do an okay job. So it's kind of like Rodri is there to relieve him of fatigue and whatnot. But yeah. I mean, KDB can also play from deep.
Yeah. So, for instance, your three would be Henderson.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Fabinho, I mean,
Henderson.
you can't leave Fabinho out really.
Okay. So Fabinho instead of Henderson.
Fabinho, yeah. I mean, it would be.
Well, you could play Henderson further forward.
Yeah, you could do.
That's how it was being played by Klopp, from if I recall that towards. He wasn't doing these defensive ball.
It's just his love of the club and just how passionate he is, and he's just it makes him an asset of the team. And you just want him in there.
I mean, obviously you guys rotate, so it's
there's a big rotation system going on right now. That's where I think Keita will come in.
But you're starting three for me, so you've got to make a decision. You're starting three midfield.
Yeah, so Fabinho, Fabinho, Hendo. The left is good as well because you just you've got like a heap of options there, and it's someone that has to gel with Mane as well because Mane is so quick. I mean that's but what I'm saying by that is if you're playing out on that left hand side and you've got Mane up ahead of you, if you play a fast ball to him to catch the defence out, so like they've been doing a really good job with that. So
he's a third midfielder, like it's just great that you guys have that sport for choice. Who do I choose?
I know,
Good. Everyone else is like,
it could be worse.
It's fairly straightforward.
It could be worse. Yeah, it could be worse. It could be just like, oh my goodness, like we have to play him because we don't have anybody. What Liverpool's midfield is just like Ox is back as well, like you just said, and I think Ox he could be like a good Ox. I mean, say Salah gets injured. Like Salah gets injured, and okay, it's not Ox's natural position, but he could fill that role if he wanted to.
So on Arsenal's transfer troubles, someone tweeted, United Religion said, any club that paid money for Danny Welbeck and sold RVP for £25 million can have no opinions on transfers. And I agree with that 1,000%.
I agree with that as well. It's true.
Oh man.
Don't ever sell to your rivals. Are Arsenal the only people that do that?
No,
like
Chelsea sold Czech to Arsenal. So.
Yes.
Yeah, but a Czech
he was your best player in the Europa League final, man.
No, he was, but this was Czech. Like he'd already passed his prime. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Liverpool sold Owen past his prime.
Yeah.
You don't sell Don't sell players in their prime to your rivals, which they did with Van Persie, because after that he was crap.
Yeah.
So
right, just to clear,
Sanchez.
just to finish off this,
another one, yeah.
Just to finish off discussion. So Firmicho, your third midfielder, and we'll just move on.
Yeah, I was just actually looking there. Like I just remembered that the other day Millie was being played in that position.
Okay.
And I think Millie is he could potentially because he's played with Mane since he's come to the club.
So Milner, for Milner, Fabinho, and Henderson, that's your two
midfield. Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking there. Like Ox also started against Dortmund. I know we lost the game against Borussia, but Yeah, it's hard to pick a solid one. If I was, I'll just go Hendo, Fabinho, Millie.
Fine.
Yeah.
Man, geez, see, that would have never years ago been like, oh yeah, what kind of midfield is that? But that's a Champions League winning midfield. So what can they say? And that's credit to Klopp. Klopp improves players.
Yeah,
he improves players. Yeah. OJ, your midfield three.
Easy. Loftus-Cheek.
Yep.
Okay.
Kante, Jorginho.
Yeah.
What was the first one?
Loftus-Cheek, Kante, Jorginho.
Yeah. Okay.
But Loftus-Cheek is injured now.
The key question is, does Kante play defensive mid?
Definitely, yeah. Because Lampard said Jorginho is going to have a new role.
Okay.
So I'm definitely, I know that means that Jorginho is definitely not playing from deep anymore. We might see assists from him finally, and not playing 5,000 passes without an assist.
But did he not have one assist all season?
I think he had just one.
Right, that's crazy.
But since Loftus-Cheek is not around, rather he's injured. Sorry. I think we can gamble on Mason Mount. I don't like Kovacic.
So if you're starting Mason Mount, Kante, Jorginho, but when Ruben Loftus-Cheek is fit, he goes into the right. I agree. He's a very good midfielder. He's got the power as well. Like him and Hudson-Odoi really. I think they, on top of Hazard, obviously, the reason why Chelsea got top.
I think Loftus-Cheek had about 10 goals.
Right.
10 to 14 goals.
Yeah. He's.
I can't remember.
Oh, Jamie says, what about Wijnaldum? No one mentioned Wijnaldum in that talk.
Yeah, Wijnaldum's another one. Yeah, once again, he's just like, I mean, who do you play? I mean, it's just one of them things.
You gotta hate Liverpool fans, right, guys? You got to hate Liverpool and the Scousers.
Because I love Wijnaldum, I really do. But just starting 11, I just and he's got loads of energy as well. If I had to pick starting 11, like
you think Wijnaldum was best like coming on second half, impact the pace to make the difference.
Made a massive difference against Barcelona. I mean, when he came on. Yeah. So like, I don't know. Yeah, Wijnaldum, big fan of Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
I just love him to bits. He's really come together this season as well. Last season. Just really picked it up, stepped it up a notch. Wijnaldum did, and he turned into a player that was just like, oh yeah, I really like him. To wow, he's brilliant. You know, like I love him. So yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Really like
40 appearances.
Almost 50 minutes in, we're still in the midfield. Okay, fine. So, but it's a good call, and thank you for posting the questions, guys. Jamie, great, awesome, keep them coming.
Wow, Jamie, you've been here for the whole time.
Yeah, man.
Got nothing else to do.
Team Takake 1, can you tell us what your midfield three would be? Are you an Özil or outer? And Ramsey's gone, so you know.
The thing is that you could, obviously.
That was a baffling one, wasn't it? Aaron going.
Yeah, that's
It's just like you're just like, what a quality player, like up and coming, and it's just like bye.
Yeah, it's just get used to it being an Arsenal fan, really.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to see Iwobi at number 10. I know he wants to play there as well, and he doesn't. He has pace, but not maybe enough pace for the position that he's in. He definitely has the skills for the position he's in. I'd love to see him at number 10. It's probably not going to happen, but hopefully he could play there. Torreira and
Xhaka?
I don't know. You know, I know Joe Willock. Ozil spoke highly of him. He could play.
So just to clarify, no Ozil in the midfield. No Ozil at all.
I wouldn't personally want him there. Because what happens, he'll have 2 or 3 good games at the start of the season. Arsenal fans get gassed. Pundits get gassed. Oh, Ozil, brilliant. And then he'll go missing for the next 10 games. And it'll be only like Martin Keown or someone who has the balls to say it. So, yeah, no Ozil for me. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
It's such a shame because he really is an outstanding player when he wants to be. I mean, he had the most assists in the La Liga and then most assists in the Premier League, back to back. So like he had the most assists in La Liga, came to the Premier League, had the most assists, and then what happened?
Remember in Naruto, Sasky, obviously, he's talented, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a natural born talent. Everyone's like, oh, he's natural born, blah, blah, blah. What's his name comes? Rock Lee. And just comes and whoops him. And he's like, he has the hard work, right?
Yeah.
So hard work always beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. As much Ozil can be Ronaldo if he wants to be on his day. He can be Messi. He can be the best player in the world on his day. But if you only see that once in a blue moon, then it's not even worth speaking about.
Yeah.
You know? That's how I feel.
So your three midfielders therefore would be...
Sorry for the Naruto analogy.
No, it's fine. Keep on. It's this is not a horrible show. So your three would be Torreira, Willock then, and Iwobi. Okay.
It's probably it's not strong, but that's the players we have. So
no Xhaka then. Xhaka just doesn't.
I like Xhaka, but I like him next to Torreira. But what's he said?
He said Ozil is missing Alexis Sanchez. Wants him back for free.
I wouldn't.
Man United already given to you for free as well. So here you go.
Take him. We'll pay you.
He's like on the KFC diet.
I wouldn't have Sanchez back because we've got the likes of. Well, we'll get in the forwards.
We'll get to the forwards now. Okay, I'm going to quickly give my midfield three. Again, United linked with Bruno Fernandes. Well, a lot of midfielders, to be honest, but Bruno Fernandes seems to be the one. If we do get Bruno Fernandes, then I know Matic is going to start in the DM role. Matic is slow, is tired, and I just really, really don't want him to play. He's not quick. He's static Matic, and it concerns me. As well as seeing Ashley Young on the squad, it concerns me if he's actually part of the team. So I don't want him to be there, but he will be there. But if you want my preferred midfield three, I think Fred actually performed quite well in the DM role.
I like Fred.
So I think that Fred should be given the leeway there. And then if you think of the other two, it would be if we sign Bruno Fernandes, he goes in, and Pogba if he doesn't leave. If we don't sign Bruno Fernandes, then it will be McTominay and Pogba.
Do you want Pogba to stay? Because it just.
I don't think we have a choice because because the key thing about the transfer window in particular is that the annoying thing and I blame Wenger for this. I blame him so much. It's his fault. Arsene is that he decided ridiculously to bring the English transfer window forward. So it was closed before the Premier League started.
Yeah, right.
And that's fine. It's like to make it fair so all the small teams don't, fine, whatever. But the problem is that isn't happening across Europe.
Yeah.
So the situation we have now is that England basically is at a massive disadvantage because they finish earlier, 2 or 3 weeks. And so they can't sign anyone. But then the players in Europe can still sign English Premier League players.
That's true.
So Pogba and Lukaku can still move. But the problem is that if the window closes, of course United's under an obligation. We can't find a replacement.
Yeah.
And so,
it's a tough one. Like I just don't know. I don't like the guy. I just think he just caused. Yeah.
I mean, you are Liverpool supporters, so you are going to say that,
Yeah.
So
No, I don't. He is a really, really talented footballer, fantastic player. Not disrespecting him in that sense. Just his antics, that it must have an effect on the team, having that kind of character.
I think it does. I mean, it's the thing with traditional Manchester United is that we've always had players that, if you go back to Cantona back in the day, that like Cantona's antic, mate, you're gonna say something racist to me, kick you in the chest. You know what I mean? So
the thing is, the manager has always had a certain control over Cantona and them kind of players. I mean, I know that even Beckham was quite fiery as well, but the manager always had a grip on them. Yeah,
well, that's the thing. It's like I've had no problem with players having actually was doing whatever, just so long as they deliver on the pitch. And I think the big problem with Pogba is that same with Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Because Zlatan, man, goodness knows he did, but he delivers. And you can see that they can carry the team, they fight for the team, etc. So as long as you see that, and there's no problem.
It's the same Ozil thing. If it doesn't matter how good you are, if you're not, if you only see it once in a blue moon. Remember the City game where I think City were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
And then Pogba just 10 on the gas.
Yeah.
And
The only thing I would say with Pogba is that when he's not playing, it's obvious. So that's the key. So yes, he did cause a bit of disruption, and yes, Manchester United lost with him in the team. But if Pogba doesn't play for a lot of games this season, it's painfully obvious how United, they're slow. They're not going forward. They're very lethargic.
That's a psychological effect, isn't it? Like Pogba's our big star man, and he's not playing with us. I just wonder that I don't know. I don't even know if that's a good thing.
Fair enough.
You know, like because what happens if he's injured? It's one of them things where if one of our star players like Salah or someone like that's out, you still have a lot of quality.
I think the difference is that's the key. You guys have got the quality to replace the sort of.
I didn't want to bring Liverpool back up again.
So it's like if Pogba gets injured, who comes in? We either basically play youth, or like Deadwood. It's like if Lindelof gets injured, though.
Well, that's what I mean. Have Van Dijk, like who? Like, I mean, he's irreplaceable, and that's the thing. I just don't know.
That's only really one position that you could argue that they have really that sort of United have at least 5 or 6. Where if they're out of it, if
Romero's good though. Anyway,
if Lindelof is injured,
actually, Romero can be a good number 1 for another team.
The keeper's probably the only position now. I think
easy.
Sorted.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah, De Gea's quality keeper.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't seen
I don't think De Gea had the best season.
No. Are you sure?
No, De Gea had a pretty bad season that season. I agree.
I mean, the whole team had a bad season. So.
Right. Okay. Almost approaching answer, but last one is moving on to the forwards, the front three, and then we will go and talk about captaincy. So Firmicho, your front three should, I assume, be fairly self-explanatory and short. So go ahead.
Yeah, you can't really change it at this stage because I mean they got themselves into the Champions League final, won the Champions League. So I would say Firmino, Salah, and Mane. Yeah. What I will say is that is one area where we probably do have to strengthen a little bit. Because we've got Firmino gets injured. All right, fine. Divock Origi comes in, super sub. He's sort of proven himself to hold his own. If it comes to push comes to shove, and Firmino does get injured, Divock Origi can deliver. But you can get a couple of injuries, so you can get like say Mane's out. He's played African Cup of Nations. Firmino's done exactly the same. So like he's been playing right the way through the summer. Both of them get an injury early on the season. I mean, God forbid they don't. But if they do, you got Divock Origi, great. But then who replaces Mane? It's just you just have to end up playing with 2 up front. So I do think that that's one area. I mean, Ryan Brewster's sort of coming in right strong now as well. So like, you could chuck him in. Depending on how long Mane's going to be out for or whatever. Because you don't want him out. If all of a sudden if someone got a serious injury, then you'd be thinking to yourself, you'd be panic buying in the January transfer window, like going, oh my goodness me, we need to fill this position. So yeah, I think that's one area where I would say starting lineup. Mane, Firmino, Salah, Salah, but also have some people who can replace them on the bench. So
okay. OJ, front three for Chelsea. Now that Hazard, I think yours will be a bit more complicated. I think
front three for Chelsea. Oh my days. Ideal front three.
Yeah, ideal.
Pulisic, Batshuayi, Hudson-Odoi.
Okay. Yeah.
But as it stands, Hudson-Odoi is injured. I think he's just coming back.
Yeah.
So it's Pulisic, Batshuayi, Willian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for all your hate for Willian is going to be starting.
I don't have many choices actually. I mean, Pedro is very, very inconsistent. When Pedro is bad, he's very bad. When he's good, he's very good. So there's no in between. Willian will just give me flashes here and then, maybe 2 assists the whole season and 4 goals. But Pedro will give me probably like 7 goals and 5 assists or something. But I don't know, man. I can't really decide between Willian and Pedro, but I think Willian just edges it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, fair enough. Straight to the point. Fair enough. Right. Team to Kage 1, Arsenal. Front three.
Hopefully, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Reece Nelson.
Okay.
Reece Nelson's like, obviously went to Hoffenheim. Valuable experience. I think in the Bundesliga, the footballs. He was saying even in the changing rooms at Hoffenheim, they're like, it's like quite compact. It's like a togetherness, like quite family kind of orientated. So I think he's got a good mentality. I don't know what it is about him. There's something, you see it like on FIFA when you're trying to sign someone in a transfer window in career mode, and it says like a prospect or like future star, and then there's like has something special about them. I think he's one of them. Okay. I think he scored maybe. I think he scored a few goals at Hoffenheim, not many. But yeah, he's going to be special, and obviously Lacazette and Aubameyang, you know what they do. Hopefully they can just continue. No injuries. That was another thing, they didn't get injured last season. Not for a very long time anyway. Keep them fit. We might stand a chance getting in the top 4.
Brilliant players, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really are, like Lacazette. Just a real star.
On and off the pitch, just fantastic. Good mentality.
Aubameyang just speaks, yes.
Like Aubameyang, I think he's pushing 30 now.
Yeah.
He's so quick. So quick.
Yeah.
I want to see him in Wan-Bissaka have a race.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's me.
Fair enough. Front three, Jamie's actually saying Martial from United, Martial on the left, Rashford up top and Greenwood on the right. Greenwood, Mason Greenwood. So Mason Greenwood is one of our 17-year-old youth academy products.
No.
I've been following him.
David James though.
Daniel James. So Daniel James can play on the left or the right.
You signed from Newcastle?
No, we signed from Leeds. It was from Leeds, yeah. Was it Swansea? Swansea, yes, Swansea, yes, sorry. And a championship player, but very quick, very fast, and has also done one quite this season. But Mason Greenwood is looking like, if I'm on, I actually maybe even disagree with that slightly, Jamie. And I actually think that Mason Greenwood, at least for a good couple of games, should start up top. Actually, I think that you can play Mason Greenwood at the front. You can alternate Martial and Rashford on the left, and then you can play Daniel James on the right, or you can have Martial and Rashford on the right and Greenwood up top. Yep. That's how I just think that it should go. I mean, Greenwood can play on the right coming in, so I think Ollie will start Rashford up top, Greenwood on the right, and Martial left, which is what Jamie's basically said. But if you see Mason Greenwood play, I feel he's got more technique than Rashford. I'll show you guys after the stream, like the goal he scored against Inter Milan, where he literally just sort of in the box turns the defender.
Who's that?
Mason Greenwood, and just places it in. Like, I feel like, I followed him for a while, and Mason Greenwood has he's talented, obviously to work hard, but his finishing, and I think that's the difference between. It'll take time, but I think he has the potential to be a better finisher than Rashford. Rashford can finish, but the way in which Mason Greenwood finishes can be so. Right. From that point of view, I think there's a very good chance Lingard and Mata will start anyway, which. I don't mind Lingard, but he's a bit inconsistent. Mata is too slow. And last season, when you were playing Mata and Ashley Young down the right-hand side, it was almost like, a Christmas present for most of the teams that we played against. It was like, just score, we've given you the goals. Whereas with Wan-Bissaka and someone like a James or Greenwood or someone on the right that's got pace, I know that at least they're not going to get down that right-hand side fairly easily. So yeah, that's it. That's why I think will be the front three for United. So as the stream comes to end, we're just going to quickly discuss two things. The first thing is, who do you think should be a team's captain? Firmicho, team captain.
Yeah, he still deserves it. Got us into the Champions League final. Hendo. I can't. It's a bit of a use. useless podcast for me because I can't make too many changes to the team because obviously they achieved Champions League football and they won it. So like I just have to stick with Hendo purely because he did such a great job. If I was to stray from him and just like say, oh no, actually give it to Van Dijk, I think that'd just be a little bit unfair because of how much Hendo was. He was so passionate, and you could see that he was just in tears at the end. Just you could really see how much it meant to him. There's unfortunately it might sound a bit lethargic just talking about the way because like there's not really much that I could change with Liverpool. It's just more of the same stuff apart from less draws and like maybe not a loss, if you can say that in the dressing room to the lads. Just like let's not lose one game this season either, and beat City to the top. It's a bit of a nice, like you can't really say that to a team. Hendo for captaincy.
Hendo for captaincy.
Yeah.
Okay. OJ, captaincy, Chelsea.
Easy. Aspilicueta.
Okay.
He's the longest serving player.
Okay.
He's actually, now that I think about it, he's not that great a captain. Now that I think about it, he's not that great a captain.
What about Rudiger?
No.
Okay.
I mean, he's mind you already. Might as well just. But actually, as much as I don't believe in his ability to defend, I think he's a good captain, David Luiz.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think David Luiz should be the captain.
Okay.
And the assistant captain should be between Aspilicueta and Rudiger actually. Yeah, because Rudiger seems to have that charisma and aura around him of being a leader or whatnot. So
Okay.
Got a question or was there?
Manchester United. Okay, we'll go to United then before we finish with Arsenal. James says captain has got to be Lindelof for me. It'll probably be Ashley Young. Oh God. But I wouldn't be surprised if we give it to Pogba to try and make him stay, which would be a bad decision. United captaincy is interesting, really. That's a good question. I mean, if we're still talking about our best player, I assume David De Gea would get it, and if we're rumoured to be giving him a new contract, that could be part of it. He could be a club captain. I do have a thing though with goalkeepers being captain, just because I feel like they should be more influenced in the field. But really on the field, I would have said Herrera, but he left. So there's not that many options that I can think of that could suddenly claim the captaincy that are outfield players, aside from who you said, obviously Lindelof. But even Lindelof, who I think is one of our best players, he's still only been there for about a season and a bit. Ashley Young makes sense because he's older, but he's bad and shouldn't be in the team, full stop. And Pogba, you're right, it might be the way to him, but he is our most talented player. Is he a good influential captain? I'm not entirely sure. It's a difficult one.
Could go with the Pogba one just to get him to stay.
This is the thing, but if we're talking about, because you guys have said so far about being good captains, and I'm thinking like captains based on I don't think Pogba is necessarily, I don't see him marshalling people to sort of, like when Zlatan, I remember when Zlatan was at the club for a year, you could see how everyone defected to Zlatan. Like it was like, even though he lost his pace, etc., it was just like Zlatan was chief. Everyone basically defects to that. That's it, and that's I feel like what a captain, a good leader is. That type of.
It's kind of funny. It feels wrong as well.
Liverpool have two captains.
Please, here's the captaincy. Please stay here.
That's not what a captain should be like.
And like Liverpool,
and they should be talented, obviously.
No matter who you give the captaincy to, Van Dijk is like a captain in his own right. Because who's gonna say anything? You're gonna listen to him. It's like when you play with Andrew. It's like he's always vocal.
The other thing I think the big movement is that because now United are pushing youth, a lot of the players are young. Although that said, De Ligt was captain for Ajax and he was 19. So I think if you're young enough and you're authority enough, when you play well,
that's true.
someone who could potentially, and this answers your question, Jamie, in the future could be Twan Sebi. I've seen him in pre-season. He's a lot bigger now, a lot more imposing, so
Okay.
it's an off-field park one, but that's the potential, but he's probably not going to be the captain.
Never heard of him.
So Axel Twansibi, he actually was in the he actually was on loan for Aston Villa last season.
Yeah.
He actually got Aston Villa up to the Premier League.
All right.
He was in the centre back with him. So he's got dogged championship experience, because you can imagine it's quite intense there.
Oh yeah.
If I haven't seen him on FIFA, then I don't know who he is.
You don't know Axel Twanzebe?
Nah, I never heard of him.
Really?
I know Championship too, I'm surprised.
That's interesting.
What position?
As centre back.
Right.
I signed him on
Twanzebe.
Football Manager 2018.
But Pogba, that's who's going to be Pogba.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Right, Arsenal. Who should be Arsenal captain?
That's also a tough one, because if you looked at the statement a year ago, or sort of halfway through last season, it showed our captain choices. Czech was first. Czech's retired.
Yeah.
Koscielny was second. I think Xhaka was third.
Okay.
I don't know who fourth and fifth were.
You didn't even put Jack on your starting 11.
That's what I'm saying. But Xhaka probably will start. That's the thing. So based off that, it will be Xhaka.
Who do you want to be captain? Do you think?
I always feel like captain should be like a centre back or somewhere in the midfield. So obviously it would make sense for my man said Mustafi for captain in my funny guy. Like I'd love someone like Lacazette to be a captain, because he fights so hard for the team, and I've seen him like really turn games. Like I remember when Liverpool came to Emirates, Liverpool battered us in the first half. Second half, Lacazette just like turned on some kind of, I don't know what, he was possessed. He was like Firmino plus Kante plus Ronaldo all in one. Like he was everywhere. But yeah, it's probably going to be Xhaka.
Is Torreira not old enough to be a
or
captain?
even Socrates,
Socrates.
Torreira, obviously, the language barrier a little bit. He's still learning.
Fine. Okay,
Other than that, he'd be a future one.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's a dog.
When I saw him at the end of the Europa League game, in absolute tears, it was the pain.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the only Arsenal players that I saw.
Awobi was.
That was a tough one to watch.
It was a tough one too.
Yeah.
They really kind of, Ozil.
I mean, I remember watching it with you, and I legitimately felt sorry for you. I was just like, oh my days.
Xhaka and Torreira were the only ones who stayed and clapped, I believe. For the fans that travelled.
Yeah.
So.
Which
I mean, Awobi scored, so you don't have to clap. That was. You did your.
You gave them hope, So before it was taken away by a one, Eden Hazard.
That's me.
Fair enough. Okay, so thanks. So we're almost finished. Oh, James, will there be a watch along next game? Next pre-season game, that's against who are we playing? Is it Tottenham? I think it might be Tottenham that we're playing against. If it's during the week and after working hours, possibly. If not, there'll be a post-match reaction. So that's answer your question, Jamie. But certainly there'll be watch-alongs, audio watch-alongs for the start of the Premier League season, and I will be at Old Trafford for a lot of the games, so we'll see. Did you let one rip? Teams are going. You let one rip, man.
It's a bit unprofessional.
That'll be Arsenal's. Is that going to open the Arsenal season?
No, that was a metaphor for Arsenal season.
Right. Before we finish, let's just wrap up with just a few opinions about what I think we've been going on for just a bit of an hour now. We will be finished soon, guys. We will be. Just a few comments on just upcoming transfer news. So I think a couple of things are like Bale being forced out by Zidane, maybe Trippier to Atletico Madrid.
Tough one to take that, isn't it? I mean, Bale.
Arsenal and Tini and Zaha.
What team would force Bale out? Like he's still performing for Madrid.
I have.
It's not if he wasn't performing on the pitch, then you try and like force him out, like force a move through or something like that. But he's still performing really brilliantly for Madrid. I don't know. It's
it's not only Zidane that had a problem with Bale. Ancelotti had a problem with Bale also.
Yeah. I mean,
so it seems to me like Bale is the constant here.
Yeah.
Bale is the issue.
Well, maybe no one wants him in that case. Maybe everyone's thinking themselves.
I think even if it's something for Bale, because he has been injured prone last season, he's not picked up his form. I think for me, the sad thing about the whole thing is the disrespect. I respect Zidane, but just the way it's been done, it's just been kind of like...
I don't agree with this.
No.
I don't agree with this because it's based on history. Over time, Bale has been the one speaking in the press. Zidane has not said anything with respect to forcing Bale out.
Okay.
Zidane has always been like, oh, we're working, that sort of thing. But we're trying to find a solution to how he fits into my game plan. That sort of thing. That's basically been the tone of Zidane's talk in the press. Bill's manager, I said Bill's manager, Bill's agent will either come and say, if I'm not playing regularly, I want to leave. He came and said we have a professional relationship. That was talking about him and Zidane. Even before Zidane left. Zidane left, Bill was still there. The other managers came. Bill didn't do that great. I think he has been injured for more than half of
most of the Madrid squad didn't do particularly great. I think it'd be harsh for Madrid fans to be like, yes, Gareth Bale was the reason why.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying he was the reason. But come on, you don't spend you don't spend a world record money on someone like Bale, and they are injured.
He's given them 4 Champions League titles,
and
he scored the winning Champions League goal against. He scored the winning Champions League goal last season against Liverpool in the Champions League final. That bicycle kick.
That's true.
Well, that was just last season.
I'd say that's money well spent.
I mean, think about it. Ronaldo has done more for Madrid than Bale has ever done.
I'll keep out of concussion.
But Bale,
hold on. Ronaldo has done. I mean, we can all agree here that Ronaldo has done more for Madrid than Bale has ever done.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo was sold.
Yeah.
I mean, Ronaldo was even sold, and Bale was kept behind.
I agree with you, but however, Ronaldo was at the club for much longer than Real Madrid. And it was only when Gareth Bale came that Madrid were actually winning back-to-back Champions League titles.
So you're telling me that it is because of Bale that Madrid was winning back-to-back?
I'm just trying to say that Madrid did not start winning Champions League titles until Gareth Bale. Ronaldo was at Madrid for at least 3 or 4 seasons, and he didn't even touch the Champions League trophy. Okay. So Bale's there. Obviously, it's coaching, it's Ancelotti, and they win 4 Champions, and he scores key goals.
Agreed.
So he's influential in those,
But
he helped them get the lead this and that.
At the same time, you also have to look at attitude of the player. You can't excuse their ability when the attitude is bad.
I agree, but I think that
there we go.
I agree, but it's just that I think that is the attitude is the reaction from the fans? I've seen. Is it the attitude of the fans? Is there?
Perez has always backed Bale.
That is true.
Ahead of managers.
That is true.
Every season, Zidane has always wanted Bale out because he didn't see how he fits into his football. Yeah. Although I don't understand how he's picking Asensio over Bale, but that's a talk for another story. For another day. That's story for another day. But at the same time, it could be an attitude issue that we are not seeing. I mean, his agent has always come out and has blasted Zidane in public, and Zidane has not gone back, has not kind of had a war of words with him. This is the first time Zidane is actually saying we're trying to sell him.
Yeah.
Every time it has been reported that Zidane wants him out, has always been speculation. There has never been Zidane said I want him out.
Yeah.
This is the first time that he's saying, we're trying to sell him off.
It could just be newspaper talk because, it's true. There hasn't really been any talk from internally from Real Madrid, but it's just the impression that you get, isn't it? The picture that gets painted from everyone surrounding Madrid is that Bale is is being pushed out of the club,
I think it's excuse me because at the start of the season he says literally he's like Icardi. It's like I'm not going to move.
Yeah.
So to then go from that to Bale's going to be sold, it's like it sounds like it's against his will, type of thing. So, but we'll agree to disagree. I just think it's they're apparently moving him to a club. What that club will be, I think, remains to be seen, which is interesting. They didn't mention it. Would you
play centre back?
Would you take Bale up?
Can he play centre back?
No.
Then no.
He was a right back though, wasn't he? At one point.
Left back.
Sorry.
Bale. I said, can he play centre back?
Would you take Bale at Arsenal?
For free.
I mean,
well, with what money? we can't afford. We can't afford 25 million left.
Take him on loan, can you pay his wages?
Right, exactly.
I mean, look at what Ancelotti said about Bale. Yeah, he said not all players have it, of course, but selflessness is an important quality in squad. If there is one thing that drives me crazy, it is selfishness on the pitch. When a player has to pass but doesn't, that's what he's talking about, selfishness. I have also paid for it. At Madrid, the reason for the conversation with Florentino Perez was because I took off Bale in a match against Valencia in which Madrid lost 2-1. He had the chance to pass to Benzema, who would have had a simple tapping, but Bale shot and missed, so I took him off, and we had war. So him and Florentino Perez had an issue with Ancelotti because he subbed Bale. So Bale basically had Florentino Perez backing right from time. But obviously, it's seen that it has been seen that, I mean, this guy's attitude is not it. And Bale said at the beginning of during the press conference when he won the Man of the Match award for 2018, when they won the Champions League in 2018, he was saying that he feels he should be playing every week. That if it doesn't happen, that is something that him and his agent will sit down and consider. He said that at the press conference.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
He said that at the press conference, and now, okay, fine, we are not playing you every week. You leave. He says no. I don't want to leave. My family is okay here. Or rather, pay me my contract money. That's how much. I think it was about 15 million. Pay me my 15 million. Let me go. And Madrid will not do that. Definitely, you cannot strong arm Real Madrid. Come on.
Well, I'm just curious. Which team really is in for him, because I don't know that many teams in Europe that will be United.
It's probably United.
Haven't heard any human. I haven't heard. Yeah,
I've not heard much from United.
It's probably United or Bayern. It has to be Bayern.
Bayern isn't more likely because we've already with Dan James stuff like that.
They lost Robin and
Bayern seems like a
Gnabry and Coleman.
Eesh. You compare both of them to Bale?
Wait, what?
You want to compare both of them to Bale? Gnabry and Coleman.
You're saying Bale's better?
Are you? Is that a question?
Let me interrupt. We'll just move on.
Is that a question?
We'll move on because I think we'll have the discussion, guys.
Coleman is average.
We'll move on just because James brought up a good point, which is going to be even longer. Is about Neymar. So it says, imagine if Neymar doesn't get sold, that changing was going to be incredibly awkward.
Yes.
So Neymar is that's another.
So I read the news today that PSG is saying they will give Madrid Neymar plus cash for Bale.
Plus cash?
Yeah.
Wait.
No. Rather, they're saying Madrid should give them Bale plus cash for Neymar. So
I was about to say.
Bale plus cash for Neymar.
Yeah.
So I feel like a middle finger to Barcelona.
That is a very big. If that happened, that'd be a very.
I think that's perfect. Even though he's injury prone, right? You've still got Mbappe. You've still got Di Maria. You've still got Cavani. There's other youngsters there.
And Bale is plenty.
Right? I think that's a good deal, you know.
That's a great.
I think this is a brilliant deal. Plus cash.
PSG dumb. I wouldn't do that.
What?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about, come on, irrespective of who they sign, they're going to win League On again anyway. So they don't. So from a league point of view, it doesn't really matter. The key is, from a Champions League point of view, are they going to? And that's the big difference. Like PSG, essentially the banter club of Europe in the Champions League.
Yeah.
How can you lose 3-1? It was 3-1 at Paris to basically United's B team and academy players.
Yeah.
What big team in Europe does that?
Yeah.
So their aim, obviously, every season is we have to win the Champions League. And is Neymar clearly doesn't want to be a part of the project, wants to go and probably wants to go to Barcelona. But is signing Bale, is that a step forward in achieving the Champions League trophy? I'm not sure.
I mean, if you could, I personally think Neymar is better than Bale. So if you couldn't do it with Neymar, you're not going to do it with Bale.
The attitude. Well, we talked about.
Yeah, definitely. I totally. I respect that. I respect that. Neymar is another one of them sort of characters that it's difficult to sort of deal with from a manager's point of view perspective. I don't think Neymar is as difficult to deal with as someone like Bale or Pogba or something like that.
Really?
I don't think so. I think because whatever happens, he still wants to play his football. Where sometimes it doesn't feel like Pogba does. It feels like when Pogba's had his spat on before he gets on the pitch, he doesn't perform well on the pitch either.
Oh, but he wouldn't. Right, that makes sense.
But yeah,
Neymar,
Neymar like sort of is the football. That's who he is. Where Pogba, I think, he has a personality outside the field as well as he has inside the field. Where Neymar doesn't really. Neymar doesn't really have a personality outside of the field.
I think he does. I think he has I think he has quite an interesting personality.
Yeah.
Like with Brazilians, I just think that. I think the thing with Neymar, I think, is with Pogba is that because we didn't say this about Pogba when he was at Juve. You know what I mean? So I think the thing with him is that because when he was at Barcelona, he was subordinate to Messi, and Messi seemed to be able to sort of almost nurture him, keep him in check. And so
which was better.
Exactly. So that element helped him.
Better.
But then when he was like, I want to be the big man, I want to be the star, I want to be the band on left. It's almost like, it's like a prodigal son type of situation that he left away thinking life was going to be better, and it turned out that it was awful. And now he wants to come back to Barcelona to almost go back to that role again, almost,
and he should. That was one of the best front three that I've ever seen in my entire time watching football.
Suarez is a brick though now. Suarez is a brick. Suarez is an absolute brick. He's a brick.
So Messi, Suarez, Neymar. It's like, when those front three come at you, it's just like, wow.
MSN, that was the same season as Suarez.
Sturridge, Suarez.
Sterling, or would it have been Firmino, Mane, and Salah?
No, it was Suarez. No, it wasn't.
SAS. Suarez and Sturridge.
Because there was Benzema, Bale, Ronaldo. Were they all in that the same season?
Yeah, they were in the same season. So Benzema, Bale, Ronaldo, and then Suarez, Sterling, and and Sturridge. They were in the same time. But
was Neymar at Barcelona?
But Emerson, that wasn't because Suarez obviously went to he went to Barcelona, didn't he? Yeah. So. Fine. Okay. And lastly, maybe just went with this last bit of transfer news. Atletico Madrid, I think, when we're there. Atletico Madrid sold Griezmann to Barcelona for 100-something million, and obviously Kieran Trippier. What's the deal with Atletico? What's the deal with Griezmann going?
Man.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously they don't have as much money as Barcelona's Real Madrid,
but guys,
I guess because they look at the players that they sell.
Think of that front.
Their scout system or their academy must be incredible.
Yeah.
Think of the Aguero, Fernando Torres was there, Courtois was there. How many players they sold for a lot of money? That's all they are. They're like the Southampton, but actually in the top four.
They've been doing their FIFA research.
Yeah.
Which players are?
But it's fantastic.
But it's crazy though, guys, because Barcelona literally. I mean, we don't know whether they're going to sell Coutinho and Dembele. I imagine if Barcelona are going to go for Neymar, they have to sell them, or at least let them go to PSG. Because how can you have a Barcelona squad with Suarez, Messi, Felipe Coutinho and Dembele, Antoine Griezmann, and Neymar? Even if you take Dembele and Coutinho out, you have Suarez, Messi, Antoine Griezmann, and Neymar.
I saw a picture. It was like Barcelona's formation for next season. It was like Ter Stegen, Piqué, and then the rest was attacking. Just Piqué, the rest was attacking. Because that's what it's going to look like. I think Rakitic might be on his way out as well.
That's the key with Barcelona. I think that they're crazy because generally because their issue last season was the fact that they're defensively their over reliance on Busquets and Piqué, who are getting past their prime, not past their prime. They went to Anfield and conceded 4 goals. I know Anfield is a fortress
with no response. Like they did. I mean, I can't really fault Liverpool for it because it was just an absolutely outstanding performance by Liverpool. Which by the way, in that game, I still feel, if you look back at the highlights, I still feel Messi played brilliantly. Every single time he was on the ball, it was like, oh my days, foul him.
He carried that team. I think, and he's arguably, there's a reason why I think he's a candidate for Ballon d'Or. But I just think that I don't really understand how Barcelona are. I just feel that Griezmann, and even if Neymar comes in, I think that is certainly a Champions League winning threat. But I think that the fact they're not really thinking about Busquets replacements, the fact they missed out on De Ligt, who would have really strengthened their centre back pairing. I just think that if you just get through the front three and the mid, then there's not really much left in resistance from the midfield and the defence.
True. Yeah.
You know, Hazard will deal with the centre back. You know.
Yeah.
So
that's a great signing for them, Hazard. It's just fantastic. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but what I like about Liverpool, even teams like Man United.
So go on, finish your point.
No,
question. Go on.
Like some teams, they're just direct. Like instead of just signing big names, they're filling the positions that needed to be filled. So obviously, Real Madrid never replaced Ronaldo, so I guess that's why they got Hazard, which makes sense. But Ramos is good, but you've got an aging defense, a defense that's past it. Barcelona, same. They're not really. They're just kind of getting the big name signings, but not
the structural signings.
Which
is what I think Liverpool.
Yeah, they're probably thinking they can get a couple more seams out of Busquets and Piqué. That's what they're probably thinking.
I don't know how. So we're almost done here. Just a last question from Jamie says to Liverpool fans. So for me, shows would you take Coutinho back at Liverpool?
Oh, that's another tough one. Once again, it's just like I don't know. Like you could like say, okay, play on the left if Mane's injured, or come on like if Liverpool are 3-0 up or something like that, come on and play some Mane. But does Coutinho want to do that? I don't think he does.
Would you not start? Can you not have Coutinho in more of a deeper, more of a midfield role? Like
could do like on the left and play some Millie or something. But the thing is, he doesn't defend that well.
Or could play like
the thing with Coutinho that help that.
I don't know where he'd fit. Like it's, once again, like the actual midfield of Liverpool, whether you play sort of Henderson in behind the front three or Keita, it's just like, okay, Keita's having a great game or something like that. Do you then take him off and put Coutinho on? I don't know. Like just I don't know whether it would be a waste of money. It's not really an area that we do need strengthening. That kind of unless he's happy with just like saying, look, you're probably not going to get as many games as what you're expecting. But if one of our front three is injured, you'll probably get in on it. But you could say that to Coutinho. I mean, he's a star player.
The thing with Coutinho, I find is that what Coutinho and I noticed was good at Liverpool, although he did embarrass Liverpool quite a bit, was that Coutinho was good at dealing with teams who put like 10 men behind the ball.
Yeah.
Because he would score a lot of his goals from outside the box.
Yeah, he does.
So if you're playing against, maybe not so much against the big teams, but against some of the mid-table small teams when they're like, right, Liverpool are coming, let's keep compact. Coutinho could be there, to say, right, I'm going to score from outside the box and unlock that, and that can allow the team to sort of,
I think if you sign Coutinho, I feel like Shaq's not going to have he's probably not going to play. Shaqiri's just going to...
Yeah, Shaqiri. I mean, Shaqiri hasn't even been mentioned yet. But yeah, another player who's just full of beans, scored some vital goals for Liverpool. I don't know about Coutinho. I mean, if he does come back, he would have to be competing a lot to get a starting position.
I don't think he deserves to start.
Yeah, I don't know.
All the work that the players have put in.
It's a tough one, man. I don't know who asked that question, but I don't know. I'd love to hear your opinion on it, because it's just one of them. It's just one of them. Like I say, I'm a big Keita fan as well. So like, if he, I don't mind if he plays forward and Fabinho stays back, because they can't both do that role, obviously. Otherwise, they just fully. We had that problem one time where Fabinho and Keita was being played at the same time, and it was like they were taking each other's position up. But Keita can do both. He can
what
go.
I would say, having Keita, like you wouldn't really need someone like Coutinho if Keita can stay fit, because the difference between Keita and Wijnaldum, Henderson and Fabinho, Keita drives the ball forward and can pick a good pass. So like his first thing is to drive forward. Sometimes Henderson goes sideways, things like that. Keita will go forward and give it to the front three. And if you sign Coutinho, then what's the point in having someone like Keita?
I mean, the shots from outside the box is a big one because we don't really have people who enjoy shooting from outside the box for Liverpool.
What?
Yeah.
You don't have people that shoot from outside the box for Liverpool?
No, not many. So
really?
we've had like Steve Gerrard, who was
currently. Do you mean currently?
Currently now, yeah.
You've got Hendo.
Hendo doesn't score though.
What?
You've got Keita, yeah. You've got Keita.
That shoots out from outside the box.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't.
You've got Keita.
No.
Like if you compare
You've got
Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's on the way back. So he's someone that can score from outside the box. Hendo, I mean, he a couple of years ago absolutely smashed one. I hate to bring the goal up against Chelsea.
That's what actually was in my head.
Yeah, absolutely smash it. But then he'd have like 20 games where he won't score a goal. You know, so like it'll be whoa, he can shoot from outside the box. Do it again, and it's like no. Yeah.
I don't think Klopp's game plan actually is built around people shooting from outside.
No.
So that's what I mean. Even in Chelsea too.
Yeah.
We've got from midfield no one.
Yeah.
That can shoot from outside.
Yeah.
So even Hazard can actually with both feet.
Yeah.
But because of the coach's instructions of trying to get into the box.
Yeah.
So you won't see him do that often, and then you won't see him get.
I think it's percentages. Outside. I think the percentage is that you're more likely to score from inside the box than you are from outside the box. So
I think that's why it's just that's obviously difficult against teams, like that's will basically set up to be compact this season. That's why certain teams, that's how they survive. They say, right, you have to get through us basically, and sometimes you just need to play magic to unpick things.
Yeah, that's it. So,
last comment before we finish up. So Jamie's basically just replied to Firmicho and said, I don't think he'd fit with Liverpool anymore. He could possibly play central midfield, but it's tough to just stick him in your team. Yeah. Well done. Yeah, thanks, Jamie. Yeah, it's pretty much what we just said, what we just discussed, which is just like where would you put him? Yeah. If he's happy with sitting on the bench and waiting for someone to be injured, great. But he's a star player, so like he might be picked up by someone like Bayern Munich maybe, or someone like that. Who quite enjoy his style of play, cutting in and having a shot, like banging a shot from outside the box, something like that, maybe. I'm hoping.
It'd have to be like a simple, because he's a really good player. He'd have to, be at the top level somewhere.
Yes, at the top level somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think you'd see him playing for like a mid-table club. Oh my days, that's a good stats. That I just for everyone on the stream, I just saw a stats for Ryan Brewster. He's played 120 minutes or 140 minutes? 120 minutes, in pre-season, 4 goals, It's not bad statistics, that, is it? That's pretty good.
Well, as we finish the stream, I'll just remind you this is a Manchester United fan channel. Please like, share and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Special shout out to Jamie. Thank you for getting involved. It's always better when there's engagement from people coming in the stream, asking us questions.
Appreciate it, Jamie.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks to everyone that joined. Hopefully, again, we'll do more of these in the future, especially as the Premier League season comes, and hopefully as the channel grows, there'll be more people to be engaged and to get involved. Hit that like button, share and subscribe, follow us on Twitter, UnitedX. Have a nice evening, guys, and cheers.
Damn.